What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back out with a Nichol Kessinger video. I'm not even going to say Chris Watts because we're centralizing on Nichol Kessinger. The reason why is because there's a big, huge discrepancy up in the air right now about why did she come forward. Well, I could tell you why she came forward. You probably could tell me why she came forward, but we're going to watch to see why she came forward to authorities because there's two different sides that we've heard, which is one, that her bosses ratted her out. They knew about the whole ordeal, and then she had to go in and try to claim damage control. But on her side, she says she was trying to help. Which one do you believe? We're going to look at it right now. So grab a chair, get comfortable. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Zowoki myself has posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And with Geneva giving us the help that we need of her video, make sure you guys go over to her channel, give her some love, subscribe, comment, like, and share. You know the deal. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
The discovery, and it says it should be noted that approximately 3 hours before the polygraph was scheduled to begin at 8 a.m., this polygraph was scheduled to start at 11 a.m. It says, I received a phone call from Anadarko Regional Security Manager Tony Husky. Husky advised he had reviewed Chris's computer network traffic, and it was possible.
But the thing that confuses me too, how did this Tony Husky know to look at the computer? Like, wouldn't you have to actually look into the computer in order for that to he had to have been tipped off or something?
Possible Chris had started a relationship with an Anadarko contracted employee. Husky advised he located emails between Chris and the contracted employee, who he identified as Nichol Kessinger. Age 30, Husky said it appeared a relationship between Chris and Kessinger started around June of 2018.
Which I still think that those emails that Chris and Nichol were doing back and forth, they wanted us to believe that that's when they started to date. That is when they actually started to do their butt stuff, or whatever you would say. But in all reality, they actually met way sooner because Nichol Kessinger, not a typo, that was confirmed, that she looked up Chris, she looked up Shanann, she looked up the address. Then later on, she looked up them again, and then she looked up the address again. She looked up Ronnie that time. Like, you cannot tell me that this woman wasn't involved in some shape or form. Even this right here, it shows that she lied again.
Husky further explained Kessinger was on the geosciences side of the company and helped survey land. Husky explained Chris and Kessinger worked out of the same office in Platteville, Colorado. Husky advised he would be forwarding the emails to law enforcement as soon as it was cleared by their legal department. The emails received by Husky are attached to this report. Now, this is the same morning, 8:15 at 8:07 a.m.
So when she said she came in to help the case, that was completely hogwash.
Still 3 hours away from the polygraph. Says I received from CBI agent Stacy Galbraith that Chris Watts possibly had a girlfriend, Nichol Kessinger. This information was provided by Tony Husky. Husky forwarded the email communication between Kessinger and Watts that may be.
What if, and I'm not saying this is factual at all, so I want to reiterate that very clear. What if, Tony Husky might have been with Nichol. Again, I'm not saying that as factual. It's just an opinion. What if he's the one that found out about Nichol and Chris and was like, oh, you want to do this to me? Well, I'm going to ruin you. And then showed these emails. That's just an idea. I'm just not stating it factual or anything like that because we can't prove it and we don't know. So
relevant. Agent Galbraith requested that I do a full workup on this individual and completed searches in the public criminal justice databases to prepare a full and complete law enforcement support packet. The packet was forwarded to all relevant law enforcement personnel. These are the emails that
Which
they were
we've
talking
read
about that
over
he
and
sent
over and
over
over.
to law enforcement. All these emails are in order from date and time that were sent and received. So the first one started with Nicole sending a mass email to all the workers in that area. Gentlemen, I spoke with my gas monitor vendor regarding your app access. Our account has been reset. Please continue to use the same credentials you were provided upon receiving your unit. Let me know if you continue to have issues or require anything further. Best regards, Nikki. And Chris emailed her back. Thanks, Nikki. Have a great rest of your day. Now, this is on a different day, June 12th. Nikki said, Chris, thank you for being honest with me this morning. Truthfulness is so underrated in our culture. They had met up that morning in the office. They probably had a nice little conversation, and this is what she's talking about. Then Chris replied back and said, I'm a straightforward guy. Lying just complicates things. I think you're
Lying just complicates things. That's a very bold little piece to take out.
You're absolutely stunning. And from what I've learned about you so
I'm not even going to say it.
far, you seem like an amazing person. I hope to contact you to get to know you better since we have a lot in common. She replies back and says, agreed. It's always nice to find people you can relate to. I enjoyed talking to you as well. I feel understood. I'm looking for a person to build a beautiful life with. Seems so simple, but is so unrealistic sometimes. Build something similar to what you have done with your wife.
Boom. She knew. She knew that the wife was, it was a wife, those two cute little girls. So she knew about it. How did she know about it? It shows right there that she researched Shanann. How does she know? How does she know about the wife and the two cute little kids? The two little girls? She researched Shanann. And when she sat there to the investigators, oh, I don't go on the computer very much. I didn't do any of this. Are you kidding me?
And those cute little girls. I do believe in karma, so out of respect for myself, you and your family, I think it is best that we keep our friendship at work.
And the reason why she said that statement is she wanted to keep herself out of this situation. And then when he responds, he shows it just, they were kind of like using these as a safe gate or a safe or a scapegoat. So if anything happened, they'd be like, look at our emails. We didn't start dating until June.
The way I keep these conversations we have between us.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? By the way, I keep these conversations we have between us. That's secretive.
Chris replies back, yes, a beautiful life is something that is hard to find in this world, since people always seem to have an agenda for everything. I do believe in karma, so I agree with you with that as well. Any conversations we have will stay between us. No need to worry there. My work phone number is blah, blah, blah. If you need to get a hold of me in the field. It's kind of stupid that he gave her phone number. I just kind of can't get over that because she already freaking knows it. Anyways, he says,
it's down at the bottom.
Sometimes email can be tricky with spotty service out here. I have an early morning meeting and then I'm going to do lotto for a construction crew on various sites all day. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have an amazing day. Okay, so now we know the timeline. It's 8 o'clock that morning on the 15th, the same day of the polygraph, 3 hours before the polygraph. And then Chris was arrested that night once they found Shanann's body.
But they did look at Chris's GPS of his truck. They already knew that he went out to survey 319. They just wanted him to confess because they were doing the drone like 45 minutes before he confessed. They were looking around. They saw the things that we've seen already. They just wanted him to confess himself.
After he was forced to confess. So now, Nikki caught wind of these emails that were sent to the authorities. So now you look here, and she called the Frederick Police Department to give them her information and her story.
But she called them multiple times.
About Chris Watts. So it wasn't just the bombshell information. She did try to help herself in this situation, as she told them that she was worried about his kids
her
and
image.
The pregnant wife and this and that, but really it wasn't. Anyway, so that call got called in at 8 about the emails, and now here it is. She calls into them for the very first time at 9:49 in the morning to the Frederick Police Department. And to verify that phone number, I did look it up, and that is the Frederick Police Department. As you can see here, This is when the missing persons information went out on Facebook on August 13th when they first went
Do not
missing.
call it.
And there's the Frederick Police Department's phone number.
Just leave them alone.
This is what Nichol had first told the authorities when she was being interviewed. She had told them that on Monday, August 13th, Watts told her that his family was gone and he did not know where they were. Kessinger believed that maybe Watts' wife had become fed up and just left, so she was not overly concerned at first. Kessinger became concerned on Tuesday.
But if she looked at the news like she said she did, they literally sat there and said that her car was still there, the car seats were there, her phone was still there, her purse was still there. Like, all that was on the news broadcastings. So how could she have come up with the idea that, oh, she thought Shanann was fed up and just left? Why would you come to that conclusion if you watched the news like she said she did and you heard all that information that it's just like she vanished?
August 14th, 2018, after Watts' family had still not been heard from or located. So she contacted law enforcement in order to advise law enforcement of her relationship and offer possible assistance of locating the missing persons. Watts does not know Kessinger has been in contact with law enforcement. So they're making it look like, and she's making it look like, that she's concerned with finding their missing persons, but she's already been caught red-handed with these emails. So now she has nothing.
She's literally been caught in her hand in the cookie jar, and she's like, I didn't steal the cookie. But yet that she's lying and her hand is caught in the cookie jar, they don't do anything. They don't punish her. They just let her go.
To do but to go forward to them. Now here's the other documents about August 15th, collected by Philip Jones. It says it was collected on 8/15 at 5:36 p.m. So this is when they had met in the park to do her first interview. So on 8:15 in the afternoon, Nichol Kessinger was interviewed at Majestic View Park at 8:08.
Which I thought was wrong because you could barely hear anything. All you heard was a dog and pretty much from the wind.
80 West 72nd Avenue in Arvada.
They really had to blank out her birthday when we know from the birthday cards that Chris gave to Nichol.
Colorado. Her father, Dwayne Kessinger, was also present after being advised of the identity of the interviewing agent and the nature of the interview. Kessinger provided the following information. Now, I'm not going to read off the whole report on this. I'll just read off the most critical parts.
Okay.
Starts off with Kessinger works as a contractor for Anadarko Petroleum in the Human Health and Safety Department. She met Chris in approximately June 2018 through the course of working at Anadarko, and they began to talk and hang out. Kessinger was aware that Watts was married and had children, and he told her that he was separating from his wife.
So that shows another lie upon the other lie upon the lie, but yet they don't do nothing.
Was aware that Watts' wife and children were missing at the time of the interview. Kessinger and Watts' relationship developed into more than a friendship, and it became intimate. Watts told Kessinger that he loved her approximately 2 weeks prior to the time of this interview, so 2 weeks before he killed his family. While Kessinger and Watts had discussed a potential future together, Kessinger wanted to wait until Watts' divorce became final before advancing their relationship any further. Now, before these emails had surfaced, Nichol asked Chris to delete his text messages to keep the relationship secret from his friends. But thanks to Mr. Tony Husky for exposing both of them, it all went down the wrong path for her.
Just think what would have happened if this Tony Husky didn't show the emails. Would the mistress have still been hiding? Would the mistress have actually come forward even though those emails came forward?
What do you guys think?
Because look at what's her name? Amber Fry. If she didn't come forward, Scott would have probably gotten away with it.
Do you think she felt like she was forced into it? I'm caught, I have to do it. Or, ironically, 2 hours after those emails were sent in, then she decides to call police and has a change of heart because of his missing family. Which one do you guys think is true? I think it's the first one. That's just
not
me.
The second one.
He insinuates with the exclamation points at the end. Have a great rest of your day. Now, this tells me that he's trying to show her that he really cares about her and really does genuinely want her day to go great. Now, the third email is 7 days later, and it looks like they had talked to each other in the office that morning because Nikki had said, "Thank you for being honest with me this morning. Truthfulness is so underrated in our culture." Now, that same morning, Chris had replied back to Nikki.
Yet they both are far from the truth itself.
And said, I'm a straightforward guy. Lying just complicates things. They both are trying to play like they're such great people, nobody lies, but they're both hiding relationships, lying to his own wife and children, which then led to all of their murders and disposing of their bodies. But no, I'm a great guy, I'm straightforward, and lying just complicates things, doesn't it? And he goes on to compliment her. I think you're absolutely stunning, and from what I've learned about you so far, you seem like an amazing person. So now he's just blowing smoke up her ass just to try and get her in a sack.
These emails were made to make themselves look better if anything had happened and gone down.
Calling another woman stunning when he should be telling his own wife that.
Amen.
To salvage their marriage. His wife, Shanann, was stunning. Maybe that's what he was looking for, a plain Jane, because Shanann was too good for him.
Outgoing.
He didn't deserve her. And calling her an
Achiever.
amazing person. All that they know about each other so far is the conversations that they've had at their work. But now all of a sudden he's calling her an amazing person. You should be calling your wife an amazing person. She was an amazing wife. She took care of you guys. Took care of her children. Was such an amazing mother. But here you are, straying away like the dog you are. So then he says, I hope to continue to get to know you better since we have a lot in common. So he's realizing he has more in common with Nikki than Shanann at this point. And that is attracting him to Nikki. Because he can't be himself around Shanann, and he feels maybe he can be more himself around Nikki. The 5th email is on the exact same day, and she says, agreed, it's always nice to find people you can relate to. I enjoy talking to you as well. I feel understood. So now basically they're both just comforting each other. Nikki's telling him that she loves talking to him. She enjoys it. She feels understood. They both can relate to each other. So maybe too, like Chris, maybe she's never had a relationship like this to where they both can relate to each other and have a lot in common. So she's telling that to him as he is to her, whether it's real or fake.
But Nichol sat there and said to Charlotte, she's like, I can't find a good quality guy. They either have issues, they have something that Sean has, or they have kids.
They both feel like they've possibly found something that they've never found before. So she goes on and says,
yeah, butt stuff.
I'm looking for someone to build a beautiful life with. Seems so simple, but it's so unrealistic sometimes. Build something similar to what you have done with your wife and those cute little girls. So now she's comparing her to Shanann's life. But if his life was so beautiful, why would he be straying away?
She should leave
Why
it
would
alone.
he be talking to her? Now she says unrealistic to make him feel like, oh, she'll never find the man of her dreams. Well, if we have a lot in common, maybe I am the man of her dreams. Maybe I'll make her little fairy tale come true. So she says, I do believe in karma. So out of respect for myself, you, and your family, I think it's best if we keep that friendship at work. So she tries to be respectful, but she can't hold back. Any respect for her, him, and his family is now gone. And that friendship blossomed into a relationship and infidelity. So on the same day, Chris goes on with his next email and says, yes, a beautiful life is something that is hard to find in this world, since people always seem to have an agenda for everything. He's talking about a beautiful life as if he doesn't already have one. He's living in it. He already has it. And he says
he had a life that thousands, millions of guys would kill for. And yet he just threw it down.
It's hard to find. And I think what he means by agenda for everything is maybe how Shanann always had things organized on how she wanted to live with her life. Like she wanted the giant house that she had in North Carolina. So they had that giant house built, the perfect marriage, the perfect children. And maybe in his eyes, and he could see in her that she was not like that. That's not what he wanted. He didn't want to be so organized and thought through in his life. He just wanted to go with the flow, just like Nikki did. So he also goes on to say, I do believe in karma, so I agree with that as well. He comforts her and says, any conversation will now stay between us. No need to worry there. I find this part pretty funny because he says my work number is 720-309-9424. If you need to get a hold of me out in the field. Hello? You friggin' idiot. It's at the bottom of your email underneath your name. Wow. What a dumbass. Plus, I'm sure being where she is, where she works, I'm sure she freaking has all their contact information, you know? So then he tries to make up an excuse on why he's giving her this telephone number. And he says, sometimes email can be tricky with my spotty service out here. So just in case you email me and for some reason it doesn't go through because of my spotty service, here's my phone number so you can call or text me whenever you want to.
So
wink,
giving
wink.
an out wide
so he goes on to tell her what he's going to do tomorrow. And again, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I hope you have an amazing day. So now it's not, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Now it's an amazing day. Now they're getting deeper into their conversation. And he really wants to put it out there that he really feels for her. And she can sit back and read it and say, oh, he really does care for me, even though he has a wife and children at home. Now listen to this. These emails were on June 12th. It was June 11th, the day before, when Shanann had surprised Chris with that pregnancy video. Remember the one that she did on Facebook? Surprising him that she was...
Which Chris said that he was with Nichol that day in the morning, and then when he came home, that's when Shanann surprised him with the pregnancy announcement. What a dirtbag.
Pregnant again for the third time. Now he's telling Nikki, June 12th, that he's a straightforward guy, and lying just complicates things. He just found out he's having his third child. He's telling this woman how absolutely stunning she is, and he just found out he's having his third child the day before.
She researched it.
That's why he didn't look excited in that pregnancy video, because he knew he already had a chance to get out of this marriage.
We did it again. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just a test.
I know. It's just the pink is going to be girls?
I don't know. Just a test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
Guess when you want to, it happens.
Now onto the greeting cards that he had given Nikki for her birthday. First page is bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. This other page, July 3rd, says, simply take your breath away. Have a birthday as wonderful as you are. Notice how he...
And all these all these little things that he says, whatever, he had to Google from, because he didn't know how to express his words.
Underlines everything to make her feel special about her because he's deeply falling for her. And he says, this sums you up. Big things will happen this year and dreams will come true. So now she told him what she really wanted in life, and he's offering that to her now. Big things are going to happen this year and dreams are going to come true. And look what he did to his family to get her. So he goes on to say, that smile, that stare, that laugh, that giggle gets me every time.
Oh, gosh.
Now he's stating for her features and that, gosh, this guy really likes me for me. He loves everything about me. I don't have to change. I could be myself. He says, you are truly an amazing, inspirational, and electric woman that takes my breath away every time I see you. You are wonderful. Don't ever stop being you. You can bet your ass she had a huge smile on her face when she read that fake ass shit. Anyway, so at the top, looks like he Googled some quote off the internet. And it says, your energy is so insane. You heat me up and make me melt, and then you cool me down like rain. Lame. During the times that he's given Nichol these greeting cards, Shanann and Bella and Celeste were already in North Carolina on their vacation. So that first card was dated July 3rd. So he had to have given it to her that day. Spent the night or whatever they did. And then July 4th is when she went over.
He said every day in July they spent together.
To his house. She went into Shanann's house that next day on July 4th. Now before this second greeting card, Kessinger had already sent semi-nude photos to Chris on his phone, so they were sexually active at this time. Also when they went to the sand dunes. So before Chris leaves to meet with his family on vacation in North Carolina is when this card was given to Nichol from Chris. I believe this card he gave to her just so she can remember how he feels for her or how he fake feels for her, because these are obviously Googled either lyrics or quotes once again. And it says, when I'm around you, I can feel peace in the atmosphere. I can't resist the feeling. You put me on another level. You keep my engine roaring when you're pushing on the pedal. You bring me right back down to earth. Shit sounds like it was developed in the 80s, doesn't it? I bet Nikki was loving that shit. Freaking lame lyrics. Doesn't even know how to feel love, so he has to Google it and write it down. So here's another card that he has handwritten with his little heart with the arrow through it. He states, wow, where do I even start?
I don't remember this one.
I saw you. You took my breath away. The first day I had the guts to talk to you, I got lost in those stunning green eyes. First day we hung out in the park together, I knew I was addicted. First time we kissed, I knew I had met the most amazing, unique, and electric woman ever. So once again, he's making her feel confident in herself, that he loves her.
Forgot about Shanann, your wife.
Change. And he's also putting her above Shanann, above his wife, by saying,
we had a lot of firsts together. What? Threesomes? Butt stuff? That giggle? Like, what other firsts did you have?
The most amazing, unique, electric woman ever. So he's done over compared her to Shanann, which she realizes that. She knows, she thinks that he thinks she's special. So it says, we have a lot of firsts together, Nikki. So he's reassuring her that they're going to have a lot of firsts together, because you know damn well she was drilling into his head about being the second person all the time, always being second above his kids and his wife. And she didn't like that at all. When he left on July 4th, when he left her house, she got mad. That's when Chris said that he thought maybe she was bipolar, because she got so mad, didn't want him to come back to her house at all, but then eventually ended up inviting him back to house that night to stay the night. So he wants her to feel like he is going to put her first. And look what he did to his family once again to make her feel like that. So after that, he said, and I want to keep having them with you. So he wants to keep having those first with Nikki. He's telling her this. He's guaranteeing this. Like in the other freaking card, he said big things are going to happen. Dreams are going to come true. Guess what? This was
Going
her
to
dream.
prison is a dream.
She got it, but totally in the wrong way. And yet, here is another lame-ass quote, or this could be a lyric from a song. It says, all night till the sun comes back, I want to love, I want to love, I want to love you like that. Love, Chris.
Hi.
Gross.
It's me.
Your ugly face.
I guess just call me back when you have a chance. Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye.
That was when I had said, hey, when you go to North Carolina, I really think you should try to fix things with your wife. And kept asking, well, what about us? And I was trying to kind of take a step back and see if he would fix things before attempting to pursue things with me, because I wanted to know that if all of these things he's saying, like, yes, we're getting separated, and yes, you know, all of these things that he's saying are happening, I wanted to know that it was like, you were doing this like you said you were prior to me coming in your life, and it had nothing to do with me, you know? And so for me, it was like, I really wanted them to fix it. I would have just, like, left the situation.
What mistress sits there and says, oh, I wish they could have fixed their marriage?
Like, trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fix, and I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't.
You
like,
said I love you back, you know it.
And then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, he kept telling me, like, you know, I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just like, please try, like, just please try. Like, I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and you know, and I was willing to just leave his life. I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. And like, that was never anything I could bid to him. I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. That was never anything I could bid to him. I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. That was never anything I could bid to him. Me, like, instructing him. That was never anything I could bid to him. Me, like, instructing him. I have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff. That was never anything I could bid to him. I have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff. Yeah, that was me pushing that. And that was never anything I could bid to him. Yeah, that was me pushing that. And that was never anything I could bid to him. He was so, like, infatuated with what we had going on. That was never anything I could bid to him. He was so, like, infatuated with
She
what
contradicts
we had
herself
going on.
every time.
That was never anything I could bid to him. You would think that he would want to do what would make me happy. That's a good point. And so what would make me happy with him hanging out with his kids.
Does anybody believe that?
I didn't know. You're referencing that he has 2 kids and you don't like that? That was never anything I could bid to him. I didn't know.
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys had an intimate relationship during that time?
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Now, we're standing that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday, or Monday, did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more.
She really distanced herself rather than he came to me is what she wanted. She's like, I was kind of interested in him. I did have a couple other dates. She didn't want to show like how invested she was with him.
Than I did to him, because it was just all very new to me, and I was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just
Another woman? Girl, you are the other woman.
don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just really fixed things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time. And I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, you know, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but don't, not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but like the later ones.
And
Thank you.
when you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it.
Yes, I just didn't say it as frequently as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still like very, very new, so I kind of like took my time and only said, like,
so full
this is
crap.
a really important moment.
See, them going out to the park, it was completely a waste of time.
Like, hey, I'm like leaving her, we're gonna get a house together, you're moving in with me. It was never like this important that. It's like, you know, once you guys, all your people are finalized, and you guys have decided to separate, and you're in your own spot with your kids, I was like, I think the days that you're with your kids, you need to be with them like full time. You know, I'm not ready to meet your children. He didn't even ask me to meet his children. I mean, not yet, you know, but I told him, I was like, in the future, eventually, if we get to that point where we think we're ready, yes, but I'm not ready to meet your kids. They're not ready to meet me. You're not ready to have me meet them. And I just told him, you know, like, I think we should take our time. Like, ideally, I would only like one now with you know, on the days that you don't. And I was like, in the rest of those days, I was like, spend time with yourself, man. I was like, you've been in a relationship for a really long time. Like,
Or she was messing around with Jim.
I'm like 100% sure this is like the man of my dreams, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with him, right?
dating seriously and like building something with each other. But I mean, that was kind of my standstill on that. And, you know, I feel guilty that I should have like waited to, I guess, like initiate anything that we had together until after the situation finalized, as opposed to doing it while they were in the midst of separating.
Or I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even like process. I was like, okay, like, give her some space, you know. And on that note too, when he was in,
She didn't want her space. She probably was going doing stuff with Jim.
I'm gonna jump back for just a sec because I had a thought. So when he was coming back from North Carolina, that was when he officially told me we're gonna get a divorce and we're gonna put the house up for sale. Like, he told me they were separating and they were like gonna put the house up for sale, but they hadn't done it yet. And then when he got back from North Carolina, that was when he was like, it was like sealed deal.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, am I in trouble because I deleted his text?
You're not in trouble.
I didn't know what was going on at that point.
So, I know does that cause questions?
Of course it does.
There is, but is it criminal? No. Is there concern that you're hiding something? Potentially. That's why.
They're like, potentially, you might be hiding something from us, but we're not going to look at it. Like, what are you on, people? And yet you want to sit there and tell us that we're just doing this because of a witch hunt? So, all in all, guys, why did Miss or not Mistress Nichol Kessinger come forward. It's not to help out. She came forward because she knew she was in hot water. She wanted to get out of the hot water and not be a part of that boiling water. And she was going to do, as she says, damage control. She said it at least 2 to 3 times that she's going to go to her safe house that she's got, which was probably Jim for God knows who. But she always had to sit there and say that. So why did the mistress come forward? Because somebody messaged me in the other comments. They're like, why are you so on when Nichol Kessinger had to come forward? Because the DA said she came on her own volition. She came because she heard that Tony Husky went to the law enforcement. But the thing that puzzles me, why did Tony Husky think that he needed to go and give the authorities these emails? That's why I said before, which again, I'm not saying it's factual, it's just my opinion, that maybe Tony was, because there was rumors that Nichol was with higher ups in the company. Maybe that was one of the higher ups. I don't know. I'm just saying, how did Tony Husky find out about Chris and Nichol? She didn't come forward to help out the investigation because everything she said was completely BS. It didn't help at all. Or if she even completed a sentence anyways. So comment your thoughts down below. Of course, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, or anybody you know, and hopefully we will see you guys in the next video. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.